This is Catholic Challenge, a quiz show that tests your knowledge of the Catholic faith. From altar to zealot and amice to wimple, we've got the questions to test your mettle. Take up your shield and raise your sword. It's time to stand firm in the glory of the Lord. Are you up to the challenge? Catholic Challenge 2.0 is here. Are you ready? And now, here is your host, Barbara G.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Challenge 2.0, an exclusive production of the Living Bread Radio Network. I'm your host, Barbara G., and with me today is my co-host, PJ Chavez. Hey, PJ.
Hey, Barbara.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Okay, great. Well, listeners, we're going to spend the next 30 minutes testing your knowledge of the Catholic faith. I hope you're up to the challenge. So, PJ, let's give our listeners the rules.
Here are the rules. We will ask 10 multiple-choice questions in the first 3 rounds. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. Now, for classroom, homeschooling, or team play, you can download our free scoring sheet at livingbreadradio.com. Now, the fourth and final round is the challenge round. This round increases the difficulty because no multiple-choice answers will be provided, and each correct answer in that round will be worth 30 points.
Okay, thanks, PJ. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. Round 1 begins right now. Question number 1. What was the name of the son of Abraham and Sarah's maid, Hagar? Was it Isaac, Ishmael, or Isaiah? And the answer is Ishmael. As promised, the Lord made Ishmael fruitful. He fathered 12 princes who formed the nomadic Arab nations. Question number 2. Which Roman governor is mentioned at most Sunday Masses? Cicero, Pontius Pilate, or Lucius Octavius? And the answer is Pontius Pilate. The existence of Pontius Pilate can be verified by sources outside of the Gospels, and his name provides a powerful reminder that Jesus' death occurred within the context of Roman rule and at a specific date in human history. Question number 3. This group of men was approved as an official religious order in 1540. Their first leader was St. Ignatius of Loyola. The Society of Jesus, the Combinese, or the White Fathers? And the answer is the Society of Jesus. Some people who did not appreciate their efforts dubbed them Jesuits in an attempt to disparage them. The negative connotation of the name has been lost. Question number 4. True or false? There are 5 books of the Bible named after women. And the answer is false. There are 3 books named after women: Ruth, Judith, and Esther. Question number 5. Zechariah and Elizabeth were told by an angel that they would have a son. What was he to be called? Jesus, John, or David? And the answer is John. From Luke chapter 1, the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah, because your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall name him John."
Question number 6. What was the name of Ruth's second husband? Was it Jeremiah, Boaz, or Aaron? And the answer is Boaz. From Ruth chapter 4, Boaz took Ruth. When they came together as husband and wife, the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she bore a son. Question number 7. True or false? Atheism is the belief that there is no way to know if God does or does not exist. And the answer is false. Those who don't know for sure whether God exists, but they have not totally denied him, are agnostic. Question number 8. This saint is a bishop and doctor of the church. He is known as the Seraphic Doctor. His feast day is July 15th. Is it St. Patrick, St. Bonaventure, or St. Joseph? And the answer is St. Bonaventure. As a Franciscan, he did much for his order and composed the life of St. Francis. Question number 9. What is the third sorrowful mystery of the Rosary? Is it Jesus falls the first time, the crowning with thorns, or the crucifixion? And the answer is crowning with thorns. Crowned with thorns and clothed in rags of purple, Jesus is shown to the Jewish mob, Ecce homo, behold the man. The mob replies, crucify him, crucify him. Question number 10. According to 1 Peter, what covers a multitude of sins? And the answer is love. We learn from 1 Peter chapter 4, let your love for one another be intense, because love covers a multitude of sins.
All right, that ends round 1. We're going to take our first break. Before we go to break, we're going to leave you with a bonus question worth 25 points. Here's your bonus question. What are the qualifications needed to become a pope? We'll give you the answer on the other side of the break. You're listening to Catholic Challenge 2.0 on the Living Bread Radio Network.
The Living Bread Radio Network has been proclaiming the truth of Jesus Christ with our programming for over 15 years. If you find value in the work that we do each and every day, show your support right now by going to livingbreadradio.com and click on Donate.
Welcome back to Catholic Challenge 2.0 here on the Living Bread Radio Network. We just took our first break, but before we went to break, we left you with a bonus question. PJ, let's give our listeners the answer.
All right, the question, what are the qualifications needed to become a pope? The answer is a pope must be a baptized male. Canon 1024 states, a baptized male alone receives sacred ordination validity. Technically, it is concluded that one only needs to be a baptized male in order to be elected pope. However, cardinals do the electing, and they tend to elect one of their own.
All right, that was a tough question, PJ. Okay, 25 points if you got that question correct. We're going to move into round 2. Before we move into round 2, I want to remind you that you can listen to Catholic Challenge 2.0 on your smart speaker. You can just say Google or Alexa, play the latest edition of Catholic Challenge, and you can sit back and enjoy the game. All right, here comes round number 2. Question number 1. What is the name of the Pope's summer residence? Castel Gandolfo, Villa Maria, or Monte Carlo? And the answer is Castel Gandolfo. Castel Gandolfo is the name of a village and a castle. The village is known for its peaches, wine, and fish from nearby Lake Albano. Question number 2. Who rolled away the huge stone that had sealed the tomb of Jesus? The soldiers, an angel, or the gardener? And the answer is an angel. From Matthew chapter 28, an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, approached, rolled back the stone, and sat upon it. Question number 3. On what day do we celebrate the Feast of Our Lady of Victory? August 15th, October 7th, or September 5th? And the answer is October 7th. To celebrate Our Lady's intercession to win the Battle of Lepanto, the Church has designated October 7th as the Feast of the Holy Rosary. Question number 4. To what preservative does Jesus compare his disciples? Vinegar, salt, or nitrate? The answer is salt. From Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its taste, with what can it be seasoned? It is no longer good for anything." Question number 5. True or false? The 5th commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," does not apply to preborn babies or sick people. And the answer is false. From the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2268 and 2269, it says, "It is forbidden to do anything that directly or indirectly causes a person's death."
Question number 6. By what name was the disciple Tabitha also known? Was it Meredith, Dorcas, or Martha? And the answer is Dorcas. From Acts chapter 9, in Joppa, there was a disciple named Tabitha, which translated means Dorcas. Question number 7. Some Christians contribute 10% of their income to the church. What is this contribution called? Is it a tithe, a stipend, or a dividend? And the answer is a tithe. Although the church has no rule for tithing, each of us should evaluate what we do to give back to God through our support of the church and charitable organizations. Question number 8. True or false? The Vatican Swiss Guards are recruited from the male population of Italy. And the answer is false. Each recruit must be a single male of Swiss citizenship standing at least 5 feet 8 inches tall, between 19 and 30, holding a high school, degree, or professional diploma. Question number 9. What was Paul's distinguishing mark in the letters he wrote? Was it his stamp, his handwriting, or his greeting? And the answer is his handwriting. From 2 Thessalonians, we read, "This greeting is from my own hand. Paul's, this is the sign in every letter. This is how I write." Question number 10. Which alphabet is named after a saint? Is it the Cyrillic alphabet, the Latin, or the Greek? And the answer is the Cyrillic. The Cyrillic alphabet was invented by Saints Cyril and Methodius.
That ends round number 2. We're going to go to our second break. But before we go to break, we're going to leave you with another bonus question worth 25 points. Here's the bonus question. What is a person who believes in only one God called? We'll give you the answer on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Catholic Challenge 2.0 on the Living Bread Radio Network. We'll be right back.
It's the first platform of its kind anywhere. It's great Catholic music, your home for sacred hymns and contemporary favorites 24 hours a day. A great way to draw closer to the Lord through beautiful music. It's perfect to listen to at home with the kids, at work, or during your daily devotions. Listen any time of day at greatcatholicmusic.com. Download the free app or ask any Alexa-enabled device to play great Catholic music.
Welcome back to Catholic Challenge 2.0 here on the Living Bread Radio Network. We went to our second break, and before we went to break, we left you with a bonus question. PJ, let's give our listeners the answer.
All right, so what is a person who believes in only one God called? The answer is monotheist. Monotheism is opposed to polytheism, which is belief in more gods than one, and to atheism, which is disbelief in any deity whatsoever.
Okay, 25 points for that correct answer. If you have a question that you'd like to have us use here on Catholic Challenge, you can send your question to quiz@livingbreadradio.com, and then you can listen and see if we use your question on the air. All right, let's move now into round number 3. Question number 1. In which town did Mary and Martha live? Galilee, Bethany, or Judah? And the answer is Bethany. From John chapter 11, we read, "Now a man was ill, Lazarus from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha." Question number 2. What is the given name of Saint John Paul II, the first non-Italian pope in 5 centuries? Karol Wojtyła, Jorge Bergoglio, or Joseph Ratzinger? And the answer is Karol Wojtyła. Cardinal Karol Wojtyła, 58, was the Archbishop of Krakow, Poland. He chose the name John Paul II in honor of his immediate predecessor. Question number 3. This saint was only 44 years old when he died, yet he has been declared one of the 32 doctors of the Catholic Church. His name means golden speech. Is it St. Peter Chrysologus, Thomas Aquinas, or John Chrysostom? And the answer is St. Peter Chrysologus. St. Peter was one of the great crusaders for frequent Holy Communion among the faithful. Question number 4. True or false? Father Michael McGivney founded the Knights of Columbus. And the answer is true. Father McGivney is now recognized as Blessed Michael McGivney. It's the first time a diocesan priest born in the United States has been beatified. Question number 5. To whom was Jesus referring when he said, "Go tell that fox, behold, I cast out devils"? Pontius Pilate, Herod, or Caesar Augustus? And the answer is Herod. From Luke chapter 13, Jesus replied, "Go and tell that fox, behold, I cast out demons, and I perform healings today and tomorrow, and on the 3rd day I will accomplish my purpose."
Question number 6. How long did Solomon reign over Israel? Was it 7 months, 40 years, or a century? And the answer is 40 years. From 1 Kings, Solomon was king in Jerusalem over all Israel for 40 years. Question number 7. True or false? Even before the 16th century Protestant Reformation, there was an 11th century split between the Catholic Western Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church. And the answer is true. Since then, the Western Church has split into even more denominations, and the Eastern Church has divided into a number of more or less ethnic churches, each speaking its own language. Question number 8. This saint was born in Lima, Peru. She marred her face, rubbing it with pepper to make it blister, and cropped her hair short to deter suitors. Was it Saint Rose of Lima, Saint Agnes of Lima, or Saint Lillian of Lima? And the answer is Saint Rose of Lima. Saint Rose died in 1617 at the age of 31. According to legend, she accurately predicted the date of her death. Question number 9. The meeting that took place between Mary and her cousin Elizabeth when they were both pregnant is known by what name? Was it the Annunciation, the Visitation, or the Consultation? And the answer is the Visitation. The Visitation is the second joyful mystery of the Holy Rosary. Question number 10. How was the Holy Family warned that someone wanted to kill the baby Jesus? Was it a messenger, a dream, or a letter? And the answer is a dream. From Matthew chapter 2, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Rise, take the child and his mother, flee to Egypt. Herod is going to search for the child to destroy him."
That ends round 3. We're going to take our final break and move into the challenge round. But before we take our break, we're going to leave you with one more bonus question worth 25 points. Here's the question. What were people who destroyed paintings and statues in Catholic churches in the 15th and 16th centuries called? We'll give you the answer when we come back. You're listening to Catholic Challenge 2.0 on the Living Bread Radio Network.
The Living Bread Radio Network opens up the Scriptures each and every day with their podcast, Liturgy of the Word. You'll hear the daily Mass readings and reflection along with sacred liturgical music. Stay in touch with the Church with Liturgy of the Word podcast. You can even ask Alexa to play Liturgy of the Word.
Welcome back to Catholic Challenge 2.0 here on the Living Bread Radio Network. We just took our final break, and before we went to break, we left you with a 25-point bonus question. PJ, let's give our listeners the answer.
All right. What were people who destroyed paintings and statues in Catholic churches in the 15th and 16th centuries called? The answer is iconoclasts. Iconoclasm is the deliberate destruction of a culture's own religious icons and other symbols or monuments, usually for religious or political motives. The word iconoclast is Greek for breaker of icons.
All right, that was a tough bonus question. 25 points for that bonus question. Okay, we're going to move into the final round, the challenge round, and it's a little bit different. PJ, let's give our listeners the rules.
All right, so the fourth and final round is the challenge round now. This round increases in difficulty because no multiple choice answers will be provided, and each correct answer in this round is worth 30 points.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. To whom was the devotion of the miraculous medal revealed by the Blessed Mother in Paris? And the answer is St. Catherine Labouré. The miraculous medal was given to St. Catherine Labouré in 1830 at the beautiful chapel of Rue du Bac in Paris.
Question number 2. During his passion, to whom did Jesus reply, "My kingdom is not of this world"? And the answer is Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate is mentioned in both the Nicene Creed and the Apostles' Creed. He played an integral part in the passion and death of our Lord and King.
Question number 3. What common English expression is a contraction of God be with you? And the answer is goodbye. Unknown to most, the history of the word goodbye begins in the 1400s with a rather popular parting prayer first appeared in Middle English, God be with you.
Question number 4. What is the container for a relic called? And the answer is a reliquary. Before they can be accepted as genuine religious artifacts, the reliquaries must also be accompanied by genuine documentation of their contents, or at least a substantial amount of evidence as to what the container holds.
Question number 5. Comforting the afflicted and bearing wrongs patiently are two of them. What are they? And the answer is the 7 spiritual works of mercy? The spiritual works of mercy have long been a part of the Christian tradition, appearing in the works of theologians and spiritual writers throughout history.
Question number 6. What is another name for the Decalogue? And the answer is the 10 Commandments. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, 2033, affirms the greatness of the Decalogue. The Decalogue sets out the principles of moral life valid for all men.
Question number 7. What are the intercessions of the congregation proclaimed at Holy Mass called? And the answer is prayers of the faithful. The prayers of the faithful are an act of faith in the triune God and a plea for God's intercession in the world. That sound means we're running out of time. PJ, let's give our listeners a final question.
All right, here's the last question. What does the acronym BVM stand for? And the answer is the Blessed Virgin Mary. In her response to St. Elizabeth, Mary says that all generations will call her blessed. The perpetual virginity of Mary is the doctrine of the Catholic Church that Mary was a virgin before, during, and after the birth of Christ.
Okay, that wraps up the game. I hope you did well today, listeners. Remember that we learn something new about Jesus and his church every day. And if you keep listening to Catholic Challenge 2.0, you'll learn something new every time. Thanks for joining us today, and tune in again next time for another edition of Catholic Challenge 2.0 on the Living Bread Radio Network. For PJ Chavez, I'm your host, Barbara G. Praise be Jesus Christ.
You've been listening to Catholic Challenge 2.0, a production of the Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio. For a podcast or archive of this program, go to livingbreadradio.com and join us next week for another edition of Catholic Challenge 2.0.